On a Thursday morning in late October, Donna received a padded envelope with no return address. Inside, she found a small black external hard drive and a single sheet of folded paper. The note said, "I should have given this to you the day after." It was signed Catherine.
She should have given it to me. 8 years ago?
Catherine had been her wedding photographer for her first marriage to Joshua. That marriage ended 4 years later, amicably. But this drive had been kept for 8. Her fingers tightened on the hard drive. The note felt like a confession. She had remarried. She had moved on. But the past had just landed on her kitchen table. She knew without opening it that the drive held something deliberately hidden from her, and that 8 years of silence were about to end. Donna brought the drive to her office and plugged it into her laptop. A window appeared demanding a password. The drive was encrypted. She turned the note over. A string of numbers was written in the bottom corner. She typed the sequence and pressed enter. The lock icon vanished.
The past shouldn't need a password. What did she lock away in here?
A directory opened. Donna and Joshua wedding. Beneath it, dozens of subfolders filled with images. She scrolled through the standard shots. The bouquet, the vows, the first kiss as man and wife. All once precious, now hollow. Then among the neatly labeled folders, one stopped her cold. Pre-ceremony candids, do not deliver.
Do not deliver. Catherine hid this deliberately for 8 years.
38 files. Her hand trembled on the mouse. The answers she never knew existed were a double click away. She opened the folder and clicked the first image. A dim church hallway appeared. In the alcove, her sister Pamela, the maid of honor, was kissing Joshua, the groom.
Pamela and Joshua, 22 minutes before I walked down the aisle. This can't be real.
She clicked to the next, then the next. The images grew more intimate. Hands, whispers, a second location. 38 photographs. Each one hammered against the foundation of a marriage she thought she understood.
How long did this go on? Did it ever stop? Or have I been blind for 8 years?
The last photo was taken in what looked like a coat room. Pamela's dress was half unzipped. Joshua's tie hung loose.
Stop looking. Just close the laptop. But I can't. I can't unsee this.
She didn't cry. The tears wouldn't come. Instead, a cold stillness settled in her chest. She stared at the frozen image. Everything she had believed about that day and her family had just shattered. She closed the laptop and sat motionless in the dark for almost an hour.
Pamela is happily married to Brian. They have 2 little kids. If this truth comes out...
The front door opened downstairs. Daniel's voice echoed up the hallway.
Donna, the house is dark. Are you still in your office?
She didn't answer. He found her there, staring at nothing.
Hey, what is it? You are trembling. Talk to me.
I found something from the wedding. The first one. Something I was never meant to see.
What do you mean? You know you can tell me anything.
Not yet. I have to call the photographer first. Catherine. She's the only one who can explain.
She didn't sleep that night. At dawn, she found Catherine's number and pressed call. The call rang 3 times before Catherine answered, her voice smaller than it used to be.
Catherine, it's Donna. I got your envelope. The hard drive. I need to understand.
I hoped you wouldn't call, but I am glad you did. I've wanted to explain for years.
Catherine inhaled slowly, and the words came out as if rehearsed 100 times in therapy.
8 years ago, I found those photos during editing. I was 26 and terrified. I didn't know what to do with them. I pulled them from the final delivery. I sealed the drive and told myself I'd destroy it, but I never could. In therapy, last year, it kept coming up. My therapist said I owed you the truth, even if it was late. I sent them as soon as I retired. I don't know if the affair continued. I never looked at the folder again.
Did you ever think about telling me earlier? You watched me sign those divorce papers 4 years later.
Catherine's answer came in a broken whisper. Donna thanked her and ended the call. But the photos showed more than a stolen kiss. She wasn't done. Donna reopened the wedding folder, but this time she wasn't looking at herself. She studied Joshua's face in every frame. By the reception, his smile was already thin. He'd been distant that whole first year. She'd blamed the stress of the marriage.
I remember walking in on them laughing in the kitchen once. Pamela said it was just a joke about my veil. I believed her.
She pulled up a photo of her divorce day. 2 cars, separate directions. Joshua had ended things, but he'd never given a reason.
He said we'd grown apart. But what if we didn't? What if he was just running from something else?
That evening, she told Daniel she needed to see Pamela. He asked if she was sure.
You are carrying everything by yourself. Let me go with you.
Number. This has to be just us. I have to look her in the eye alone.
He nodded, but she could see the fear in his eyes. He handed her the hard drive. She held it, rehearsing what she would say. She'd present only the one kiss, no more, and watch how Pamela reacted. Donna waited at a corner table in the coffee shop. When Pamela arrived, her sister's smile vanished. Donna slid her phone across the table. The first photo was already open. Pamela's face went white. She covered her mouth with one shaking hand. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Pamela's eyes welled with tears.
It was a one-time mistake. We both regretted it immediately. I swear, nothing else happened.
Then why did Catherine hide these photos? Why did Joshua never look me in the eye again?
Please, Donna, don't tell Brian. He's all I have. Think of my children.
She's lying. But what am I fighting for? A marriage that's already dead.
Against her own instincts, Donna nodded. She stood, leaving her coffee untouched. As she walked out, she caught Pamela's reflection in the window. A flash of relief, not guilt. A week passed, but Donna couldn't shake the image of Pamela's relief. She sat down at her desk and plugged the drive in again. This time, she examined not just the hidden folder, but the reception candids. Joshua and Pamela standing too close, their eyes lingering.
I was right there. How did I miss this? They weren't awkward. They were comfortable. They were comfortable. This wasn't a one-time mistake.
She called Catherine again, this time with a sharper edge.
Was there another photographer that day? Someone else taking candids? I need to know if they kept their own copies.
My second shooter, Rick, he was only supposed to cover the pre-ceremony prep. I never asked him if he had additional files. Here is his number. But Donna, those photos were taken minutes before the ceremony. They might not help you.
Donna didn't answer. She saved the number and hung up. Then she dialed Rick.
Yeah, I remember that wedding, the church hallway, right? I might have kept some raw shots. Give me a day, I'll bring what I have.
If he has photos from after the ceremony, then I'll know the truth. And this time, Pamela won't be able to lie her way out.
They met on a park bench the next afternoon. Rick handed her a small memory card. They're all there, he said. I never submitted these because Catherine only asked for the formal candids. He opened his laptop. The first frame showed Joshua straightening his tie as he stepped out of the alcove. Behind him, Pamela's hair was mussed. The timestamp was 21 minutes before the ceremony.
21 minutes. They didn't just kiss. Look at them. Guilt written all over their faces.
Rick clicked through more images. In one, they were tucked into a corner of the reception, passing something, a phone, exchanging numbers.
I figured they were just friends, you know. But looking back, I'm sorry. I should have said something.
It's not your fault. You were doing your job. I just need to know, are there any after this? Later in the night?
Rick scrolled to the last file on the card. It was a photo of the empty coat room, taken hours after the reception had ended. 2 champagne glasses on the floor, a forgotten bow tie.
Empty coat room. Hours later. They were together all night. This was no mistake. It was a full betrayal.
She closed the laptop. Rick looked at her with sympathy. What are you going to do? He asked.
I am going to give my sister one more chance to tell me the truth. The whole truth.
Donna arrived at Pamela's unannounced. She walked inside without a word. She found Pamela in the living room and threw the new photos onto the coffee table.
What is this? You said you'd keep it quiet.
I lied. Because you did. Look at these. The coat room, hours after the reception.
Pamela's hand flew to her throat. She couldn't look away from the images.
Please, Donna, Brian, my kids. You can't.
Tell me the truth. How long were you sleeping with my husband?
Pamela crumbled onto the couch, sobbing. The whole story spilled out between gasps for air.
2 years. It started before your wedding and didn't stop until I met Brian. Joshua ended it.
Donna's face turned to stone. She sat down and spoke slowly. You will tell Brian everything. All of it. And I'll be watching.
You have 30 days. Not a minute longer. Tell Brian everything. The pre-wedding, the 2 years, the reason my marriage ended.
30 days. Donna, I can't. He'll leave me. My children.
Your children deserve a mother who tells the truth. They deserve a father who isn't living a lie.
Pamela buried her face in her hands. Her sobs muffled. She was out of arguments.
I'll be watching. If you haven't told him by day 30, I will. That's a promise.
She placed a sealed envelope of the photos on the table, a tangible reminder of the secret. Then she took out her phone, opened the calendar, and circled the date. The countdown had begun. Donna turned and left without looking back. The door's click was the only sound. Pamela stared at the photos, her future crumbling. She had made this bed, and now she'd have to lie in it. For the first time in 8 years, someone had forced her to choose between comfort and truth. And for once, she had no choice at all. The first week crawled. Pam watched Brian play with the kids, each laugh twisting the knife. Every evening, she started a sentence she couldn't finish. Brian, I need to tell you, became a silent ritual. Day 14, Donna's text. I haven't heard from Brian. Clock's ticking. No answer.
Donna's deadline, circled in red. 22 days left. 22 more chances to destroy everything.
By day 26, the calendar page turned. Pamela had exhausted every excuse. Tomorrow was no longer an option.
Donna, it's Pam. I can't go through with this alone. I need you here when I tell him. Please.
I'll be there, but you are speaking every word. That's the deal. I am not your messenger.
She set the night for day 27. The kids safely at their grandmother's. The stage was set for a reckoning. Pamela sat with the envelope in her lap, heart pounding. She'd never been so afraid of the truth she owed. Across town, Donna started her car. She was heading toward a confrontation 8 years in the making. Donna arrived to find Pamela sitting rigid on the bed, the envelope of photos clutched in trembling hands. When Brian walked in, the air thickened.
Hey, you both look serious. What's going on?
Brian, I need to tell you something. Something I should have told you years ago. Please, just let me finish. It's about the wedding.
Donna slid the envelope across the bed. Brian opened it, his smile fading as the first image registered. His wife kissing someone else.
Is this a joke, Pam? What is this? Who took these?
Pamela's voice broke as she told him everything. The alcove, the coat room, the 2-year affair that didn't end until she met him. His mind reeled, matching her timeline to his own memories.
You were sleeping with Joshua, my brother-in-law, while I was at home with our kids for 2 years?
Brian's face twisted from disbelief to fury. He swept the photos from the bed, scattering them across the floor.
Get out, Donna. I can't look at you right now, either of you.
Donna walked out, the door clicking shut behind her. Immediately, the shouting began, Brian's voice hoarse with betrayal. Pam's sobs ripped raw. The next morning, Brian packed a single duffel bag. He didn't look at Pamela. His car pulled out of the driveway at dawn. Pamela stood at the window, clutching the envelope of photos. She didn't cry. She'd run out of tears the night before. Within a week, he'd hired an attorney. Divorce papers arrived by certified mail.
I did this. Every word on that paper is because I couldn't stay away from him.
I keep thinking about the kids, Daniel. They didn't ask for any of this. Neither did Brian.
You gave her the chance to end it with truth. The rest was her doing, not yours.
At Pamela's, the children asked why Daddy wasn't home. She had no answer. 3 weeks later, Brian asked to meet Donna. At a park bench, he spoke without looking at her.
I am grateful you made her tell me, but look what it cost. I can't forgive her. I am filing.
Donna watched him leave. The weight of what she'd set in motion pressed down like a stone. A month after Brian left, Pamela sat in a therapist's office for the first time. Her hands never unclenched.
She kept saying I had to face what I did, but I've been facing it every day since the wedding.
Donna began seeing her own therapist 2 weeks later. She found herself retelling the story of a marriage she'd buried.
I forced her to tell the truth. Why does it feel like I am the one who broke their family?
Their texts became a sterile log of logistics. No emojis, no warmth. Just pick-up times. When Donna came to get the children, Pamela watched from the window, never opening the door.
I used to be her maid of honor. Now she's just a car in my driveway.
Donna saw her silhouette and didn't wave. She couldn't. Every time she saw the coat room, they orbited each other like broken satellites, tethered by 2 children and a secret laid bare. Neither reached out. Neither knew how. So the silence grew until it became its own kind of truth. 2 years had passed when a knock came at Donna's front door on a spring afternoon. Through the glass, she saw Pamela holding a thick envelope, her hair longer, her frame smaller. Pamela handed it over without a word and walked back to her car. The envelope felt heavy in Donna's hands. Inside, 9 handwritten pages began. You didn't owe me what you gave me. You could have buried me, and you chose not to. The letter laid out every lie, every evasion, and how therapy forced her to see the wreckage through Donna's eyes.
She didn't type this. She wrote every word by hand. I can feel the pen indents.
The last page said, I don't ask for forgiveness. I ask for a chance to be the sister you deserved.
2 years of silence, and this is her answer. Not a phone call, but a letter. It's a start.
Donna set the pages down. Her hand covered her mouth, and the tears that finally came were for both of them. She stared out the window, the letter in her lap, and felt the first crack in the ice she'd built around her heart. Donna didn't wait another day. She called Pamela and asked her to meet at the cafe where their rift had begun. Pamela arrived first, seated at the same corner table, her hands wrapped around a cooling cup of tea. When Donna sat down, they didn't speak for a full minute. The silence was heavier than any accusation.
I read your letter, all 9 pages. You didn't leave anything out, did you?
Nothing. Every lie I ever told you, I wrote down. I can't earn forgiveness, but I can stop lying. That's what I can give you now.
I want to be able to look at you without seeing that coat room. I am not there yet, but I want to try.
I don't expect you to forget. I just hope that someday we can be in the same room without it hurting.
Neither offered false promises. They just sat, sipping cold tea, 2 sisters relearning the shape of each other's presence. At the end, outside the cafe, they hugged. It was brief, awkward, and the first real embrace in nearly 3 years. Pamela whispered something into Donna's shoulder. It wasn't an apology. It was a thank you. A year after that hug on the sidewalk, Donna found herself revisiting old wedding photos. This time, her own with Daniel.
We never did have the big wedding, just a courthouse. How would you feel about a vow renewal?
I'd feel like it's about time we celebrated us, with everyone who matters.
Donna smiled, but her eyes drifted to the hard drive still sitting in her office drawer. She knew who she needed to invite. Later that week, she called Catherine. The line connected with a nervous click.
Catherine, it's Donna. I am having a vow renewal next month. I'd like you to photograph it as my guest and as your final gig.
You want me there? After everything I hid?
Because of everything you hid. You set all of this in motion. We wouldn't be here without that hard drive.
Catherine didn't answer immediately. A muffled sob crossed the line. Then her voice steadied.
I would be honored. I'll bring my best lens and my last roll of film. This one will be different.
The vow renewal took place in a small garden at golden hour. Catherine was already there, camera ready. Donna and Daniel stood beneath the arch, holding hands, saying the vows they'd earned across a decade. Catherine moved like a ghost, catching love in the cracks, a glance between sisters, a husband's tear.
What we build from broken pieces is stronger than what was never broken. I am grateful to stand with you today.
Catherine's shudder caught Pamela's trembling chin, the way Donna's hand pressed against her heart.
That was my last shot. My last wedding. And it was the only one that ever mattered.
You gave me the truth when I wasn't ready. Now we're here because of that hard drive. Thank you.
They hugged, photographer and bride, bound by a secret that had finally become a gift. Later, as the reception sparkled with fairy lights, Catherine walked among the guests, her camera retired, but her hands holding wine. It was a celebration of the life they'd rebuilt, not from the ashes of betrayal, but from the stone of hard-won forgiveness. As the fairy lights dimmed, Donna and Pamela slipped away from the reception, mugs of tea warming their hands. They lowered themselves onto the old wooden swing, its chains creaking in a familiar rhythm, and said nothing for a long while.
Do you ever wonder if Joshua thinks about it? About what we did?
I used to. But he has his own ghosts, Pam. They don't have anything to do with me anymore.
Pamela nodded slowly, her eyes fixed on the darkening garden. The ghost of the coat room seemed farther away than it had in years.
For a long time, I thought the truth would destroy us, but I think we were already broken. The truth just rearranged the pieces.
Silence returned, but it was no longer heavy. It was the silence of two people who had nothing left to hide. The camera's focus softened as the swing rocked gently, their silhouettes merging with the dusk. They didn't need to smile or fix anything or promise more than the hour. They were just present. And that was enough. The hard drive that had once shattered their world now sat in a box of keepsakes, replaced by this. A shared stillness, hard-won and real. The evening deepened around them, the garden turning blue, then black, until only the porch light held its shape. Some journeys don't end with a destination. They end with two people sitting still, finally able to breathe the same air without flinching. Donna never opened that hard drive again. She didn't need to. The truth had done its work, and the work had nearly undone them all. But in the end, it was the quiet that rebuilt them. The unsent text, the untouched envelope, the decision to stay. The photographer, long retired, would look at the images from the vow renewal and see something she'd never caught before. The weight of a story that chose hope. Sometimes the hardest gifts are the ones we didn't know we needed. The locked folder, the hidden letter, the sister sitting silently beside you. Donna never spoke of that October morning again. She didn't have to. Every cup of tea on that swing was a conversation. The story didn't end with a punchline or a twist. It ended with two women on a wooden swing, no longer hiding. And maybe that's the only happy ending we ever really get. Not a perfect family, but a true one. The porch light clicked off. The swing chain stilled. And somewhere, in the dark, two sisters held on. Long after the last tea had gone cold, the porch remained still. There were no more secrets between them, only the echo of a hard drive, now silent. The truth had torn them apart, and then, slowly, knit them back together in a different shape. Some lessons can only be learned through pain, and some wounds become the very bond that holds. Catherine, in her retirement, would keep that vow renewal photo on her mantle. Not as a job, but as a testament. Donna and Daniel would grow old in a house filled with real laughter, not rehearsed smiles. And Pamela, through hard-won therapy and time, became the sister she never knew she could be. The photographer's hidden archive was never mentioned again. It had served its strange, necessary purpose, and so, in the quiet that follows forgiveness, they built a life not haunted by the past, but defined by the choice to stay. In the end, they were more than sisters. They were two women who had weathered the worst and found a way back together.